And we are live. Hey, everybody. Thanks for hopping on here. I am very excited to speak with our guest this evening, Lauren Pritchard, who is an Austin, Texas based speaker and YouTube content creator. She talks a lot about spirituality, consciousness, ascension, extraterrestrials, quote unquote, conspiracies, and other interesting topics that we don't hear a lot about in the mainstream. I recently caught a few of her videos on YouTube and was just basically instantly hooked by her fresh and modern take on these interesting times that we're living in, to say the least. I'm just super excited, super honored. She's taken time out of her busy schedule to speak with us and share her super interesting story. Lauren, welcome. Thank you so much for hopping on with us.
Thanks so much for having me, James.
Awesome, awesome. Wanted to just ask you just a couple quick questions about basically who you are, your background, the work that you're doing, and wrap it up with how people can get in touch with you to continue learning from you. So just for starters here, can you tell us more about your background, how you got started doing what you're doing?
Sure, yeah. So I had an ambush style awakening, as I call it, back in October of 2016. So it wasn't anything that I saw coming. It was sort of like a huge shakeup, and it was in the form of I guess it would be considered a spirit guide that was contracted before we incarnated here to wake me up when this whole thing was supposed to start happening. And so since then, it's just been this continuous evolution of ascending higher, vibrating higher, coming together and finding like people like yourself in order to really organize the community, really organize the movement, to really get some boots on the ground and start shifting into a higher consciousness, which is what we're moving into, because we're wrapping up a cycle of time. This happens every 2000 or so years. We're moving out of Aquarius, or out of Pisces into Aquarius and or Ophiuchus, which every 5 trips around the constellations, it's a shift into the etheric realm where we kind of combine with an ether. It's the 5th element. That's what spiritual energy is. And when we get there, we're able to utilize more and better technology that we have the ability to activate naturally through our DNA, but we've been living in a dense, low-level planetary control system that has prevented us from utilizing this technology. So we're slowly ascending to bring forth our highest potential.
Wow, wow, okay. Yeah, I mean, you just shared a lot with us right there.
Basically, that's what it is.
That's basically what it is.
That's all.
Can you talk to us more about like basically who are some of the sources of information that you turn to for your knowledge on the topics that you like to speak about and share knowledge about? Who do you turn to for that?
Sure. Yeah. When this all started happening, my number one resource was really just my guides. They would send me messages kind of telepathically and through dreams and visuals, visions, and it just sort of gave me certain things to look up. But also, I feel like it's that innate force that drives you, that makes you, we're propelled through this life. What you do for a living, the people you interact with, it's not an accident, right? Like, we're kind of propelled through this life by our higher self aspects. And so it led me, when this all happened, I was like, well, I'm not going to tell anyone about this if I don't understand the science behind it, right? Because that's like been the thing that bridges our 3D world with our 5D world is, well, where's the science? And I found that there's actually a great deal of scientists and researchers and conscious experiencers that have been working on this for years. It's just kind of suppressed, but not anymore. There's an abundance of information now. But I started to find out, so this happened in October. I think it was around January. I found out that there was going to be
January 2017.
January 2017,
Okay.
yes. I found out that there was going to be a world ascension into the fifth dimension, and that's why this is happening. And then I found like-minded people that I connected with on the internet, and now we are connecting in real life. Those people including like Jordan Sather with Destroying the Illusion. He was one of the first people that I found in trying to understand like the ascension, like what it is. Corey Good was somebody I connected with right away because and I don't remember, I think I found him through Gaia TV because Gaia TV was once had integrity, and they had a platform for these people, these amazing spirits to share their stories. And and then I connected with Corey on things he was posting online with the sphere being alliance, and I started to notice a correlation between the attacks because this comes with a great deal of attacks from demonic forces. So I was going through this whole thing alone, but I was really finding community in finding out that there were people that were, whatever entity was attacking them was attacking me also, because our stories were similar and on different levels. He's paved the way, so he's probably endured, some of the worst attacks. So yeah, and then later Teresa Llaneros with Divine Frequency, and then this weekend going to Portal to Ascension. That's why it's so important that we do these things. She shares her entire awakening story, like the whole thing, and I'm just blown away because I'm like, mine is so incredibly similar. And then how it's different is also important because we start to understand like who we are and what we're meant to do specifically as a mission soul. And so those are the people that I've connected with. How I get my information is highly intuitive, and I'm finding out that our planet being a patriarchal style world we've been living in, the false resonance, the abundance of false information through the media and mainstream science, it's really to keep a very false reality. And we've been lacking the divine feminine energy on the planet as the feminine energy has been suppressed, because the feminine energy from an etheric level actually opens up to receive, because
All right, and we're back. All right, sorry folks, we got cut off there. Yeah, Lauren, keep going.
Okay, so in terms of how I receive my information on a semi-regular basis, I don't do a ton of research initially. So the feminine energy is a receiving energy. So we've been living in a patriarch style world in which we've been living in a false resonance. So it's creating a false reality, and it's creating an illusion around how we receive information and manipulating it through mass media and mainstream science, which is actually false. It's lacking the infinite wisdom aspect of humanity, which is a technology that we have, but that is a feminine technology. So the rise of the divine feminine, the awakening of the divine feminine, is restoring this feminine energy, the ability to receive infinite information, and we're learning to connect higher. So I sort of, and it's a feeling thing, right? Women are the feminine, and you can be a man and have a feminine. We are androgynous spirits. I certainly carry the more feminine spirit, so it's not specific. There will be men that will embody a divine feminine spirit, and it's within all of us. So we're all balancing it out. There's a lot of feminine healing going on the planet. There's also a lot of masculine energy healing going on the planet too. So, and it shows through. It's getting transparent in the mainstream, which is why now it's so easy to connect with the rest of the world, because we can use examples from what's going on in our mainstream world, in the mainstream narrative. We can use examples of that to help break down this illusion and to bring a greater understanding of what's going on through the receiving of infinite wisdom, feminine knowledge, and just bringing back the feeling, like bringing back your visceral sensations, your higher tech self is very much feeling. What makes humans powerful is our ability to feel and emotions, because we are of source. Source is love. Love is the most powerful force in the universe. And our world has been really kind of divided, dividing of the feminine and the masculine energetically. We're bringing that into balance as we move closer to source energy.
Wow. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, can you kind of walk us through maybe what a typical day in the life looks like for you? I know you have a career and you're bouncing a lot of things going on, but what's a typical day look like?
Yeah, so my day-to-day job, I'm a hairstylist, and I've been doing this for about 12 years. And it's really awesome because I really get to interact with people and heal people. It's very much a healing thing too. Just being in the presence of healers, it's like this osmosis effect that we have on each other. And so, anyways, and also, gaining perspective on how people are typically feeling. That's just an amazing way to connect with people. And I also love it, as a trade, I love it. So my day to day is behind the chair doing hair. And it's great because I work for myself. So, and I have a wonderful team behind me and a wonderful platform to stand on. It's very open and welcoming, and it allows me the flexibility to do what I need to do. But more so lately, nothing is seeming typical because we're really kind of we're really, I don't know what to call it. It depends on the energy, right? Like some days the energy is so intense that I might need to sleep all day pretty much. And some days, we're awake for 24 hours at a time. And that's becoming a common thing that people are noticing. They're noticing their sleep patterns are interrupted. And it's because we are evolving, we're changing, and there's a lot of energy coming down, and it's highly affecting us. So yeah, the typical day I think is really not as typical as we're used to. Being on a routine, like a very strict routine, like the classic 9 to 5, is it's not really natural. Like we really are trying to move into a direction where we can work more remotely, right? That's a more common thing. Work from home, work at our own schedule. Because people are willing to work harder when they can do what they're born to do, because also, like, as a human being, we're super creative. So we're all energetically being pushed to do what we're good at. We're creating something, and being able to do it on our own terms with our own biological clock.
Yep. And then you typically make a video daily, make a couple of videos daily, depending on what you're doing.
Yes, yeah. Try to keep everybody in the loop because I feel the collective consciousness. So, yeah, just try to keep everybody in the loop, and it helps. It really helps me. It helps everyone else. I'm getting amazing positive feedback, and I'm gonna keep doing it.
Yeah, yeah. Do you have any tips or strategies for those who are just kind of stumbling into all this? The newly awakened, maybe they're searching online for stuff like what the heck is going on with me? Any thoughts to share with those types of people?
Yeah, I've had a lot of people just come out of the woodwork and reach out, and I'm so grateful because I'm here to help. And I would say reach out to somebody that you trust, that is kind of going through it. And I always recommend. So the video that I share with people is from James Gilliland at Steady Ranch. You're probably familiar with the Steady Ranch. So for those of you who don't know, it's like a very blessed land that James was divinely guided to open up to the public. And there is a lot of really beautiful, benevolent ET activity that happens there. And people go there and they feel healed, they feel activated, they feel upgraded. There's just a really good vortex in that area. So he has a video about his awakening and his story. It's called Contact Has Begun, and you can watch it on Gaia. You can also watch it on YouTube. The quality isn't as good, but Gaia is something that you have to pay for. And I can gift that if anyone wants to watch it. I can gift it. I think 3 times a month you can gift it. So that's an awesome like starter pack. So talking with people that you trust, and then clearing the energy. When you start to wake up, you are so susceptible to low-level energies, trying to manipulate and halt, scare. I don't know if that's going to be I think but I think it's a very, very common thing. There's a lot of like bottom feeding activity. There's a lot of misinformation out there that's ready to like catch people and steer them in the wrong direction. So yeah, it's talking with people you trust and clearing the energy. There's an awesome clearing meditation from Soul Journey Active. I think it's Soul Journey Meditations on YouTube. I do her clearing energy meditation as often as I need to. And yeah, finding things to protect yourself, even like crystals, like selenite and black tourmaline. This is selenite, brings in heavenly energy. Black tourmaline is a good protective stone. Just things that fill you with power, things that make you feel like you have power. Protection from, and finding faith too. Jesus is a really strong energy to work with. Mother Mary is an extremely strong energy to work with. Archangel Michael, amazingly power. The archangels, they are a source that we all have. The archangels are for everybody, and Jesus is for everybody. So I guess my dark night of the soul, before my ambush awakening, I went through the dark night of the soul, which is sort of a part of it all. And I gotta say, in retrospect, my whole life looks a lot different. Like, it's been this whole journey. But yeah, I had just like a massive move in of really dark energy. And I was guided from a amazing medium in town in Saratoga Springs, New York. Teresa was her name, and she's super strong medium, so she knew it was up, and she told me to read Psalm 91 from I guess it's just the book of prayer, Psalm 91. It's it's kind of like Old English, but there's some power in this. This psalm really helped.
Yeah, go ahead, hit us up with that.
Oh, you want me to read a piece of it?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's pretty long,
Okay.
but let's see. Yet is there strength, but labor and sorrow. So soon passeth it away. We are gone. Teach us to number our days, that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom. It's a beautiful psalm. These things are very creative with the words, and looking back, it's like I see it a lot differently. Thou shalt not be afraid for any terror by night, nor the arrow that flieth by day. So it's something that you would read before you go to sleep at night, to fill yourself with power, to start activating that Christ consciousness, and that will really get you through. Because the awakening it's scary, man. It's like it's foreign to us, right? So we try to understand, and it's like you want to be open to getting more. You want to be open to ascending higher, but it can be scary because it's just unknown territory. But I think now there's so many people entering the community, like myself, that there's a lot more resources. That it's going to be a lot easier for everybody to get on board.
Absolutely. Well, Lauren, wow, you just shared so much with us. We got a lot of stuff to continue our learning and look up, and just thank you so much for sharing this type of knowledge with us. Yeah,
sure thing. And if anybody ever needs anything, definitely feel free to reach out to me.
Yeah, where can we find you online?
So on Facebook, obviously, Lauren Pritchard, that's me. Lauren Pritchard Ascension is my YouTube channel. I have a Twitter, Lauren Pritch 44, and my email is laurenpritchardascension@gmail.com.
Awesome. And I'll include those links in the video description as well. So awesome. Hey, Lauren, thank you so much for hopping on with us. We really appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you, James. I appreciate it. Just really want to get the word out and get the ball rolling, because we've picked up a lot of momentum and we're not stopping now.
Absolutely. Awesome. All right. Thank you, Lauren.
Thank you. Talk soon.
All right, bye.
Bye.